What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Ryan. And this is my test run for this camera. My camera is a Canon M50. It is brand new and I just got it from Amazon. As you can see, dude, this quality is like amazing. It's gonna be something that I have to get used to, but I wanted to let you guys know that, or I understand that my channel was something that I haven't touched in a while other than from like my previous reactions, but like when I think about it, I kind of just like neglected my channel for about a year. And you know, I kind of danced around why I was gone, but when I explained it to some friends, essentially it was just a series of really unfortunate events.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
What the fuck, Siri? Sorry. Well, it all started back in around last summer. I just came back from a music festival and I said in a previous video that I lost a family member, and that family member happened to be my dad, and it kind of just was a major curveball for me and my family. Everything, it just threw my life upside down. And I mean, a year later, some things have improved, some things have gotten for the worse. But then like right after, you know, my dad's passing, I learned that where I was working, my contract wasn't going to be extended at the end of the year. And I've been at this job for 2.5 years, and my contract was initially supposed to end within the first 6 months, but they kept on extending me, and then I kind of just expected it to be extended again, but I learned that they weren't going to renew my contract. So essentially I was going to get laid off, and I had to scramble to find a new job. And so I did. I had a lot of my friends help me, and I wanted to get into something more. I wanted to do something more that I wanted to do. In a sense, what I wanted to do was get into digital marketing and social media marketing, and just marketing in general. So I knew that I didn't have a lot of experience, so I got an internship. It was part-time, and it was minimum wage, and I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna bite the bullet for a year, and you know, this is gonna open so many doors for me. So I really had to cut my spending. I had to stop going out, and like I made literally pennies, guys. I was dipping into my savings just to pay bills, but I figured like this was going to be what I needed to launch myself to where I wanted to be. So I started my new internship, and like things were good, and then COVID happens in like March, and then I remember having to adjust and work from home. Everybody at the company was working from home, and it didn't even become like a learning experience anymore. I wasn't learning anything. It was more of like, here's what you have to do the best that you can, let us know when you're done so we can look at it. And the hands-on learning experience that I got in person was gone when we were all working from home, because the person who was mentoring me, you know, she was very helpful, but then by the time COVID hit and we were all working from home, she had so much on her plate that like she couldn't really help me, she couldn't really hold my hand, and so I just didn't feel like I was learning a lot. And then I just felt, you know, because we were working from home, there was so much pressure to finish everything that you were given, and I was only working part-time, but 90% of the time I was working way more than I should have. Like I was working full hour shifts. I was working past what I was working and like not being paid for it, which really fucking sucks. But you know, being an intern, you're kind of exploited. So I was like, if this is what it takes to get me to where I want to be, I'll bite the bullet. And then at one point I got so burnt out. I was so burnt out. And this was like around June. I was so burnt out. I was so stressed out, and like I was having so much anxiety over this job. And then I asked for a few days off, and you know, they gave them to me. It was just 2 days. And then the day that I got back, I found out from the CEO that they were going to cut me because of COVID. And mind you, I've been wanting to like quit at this job for the longest time, but I was like, if I quit, I'm not gonna be able to get unemployment. So when they told me that I was gonna get cut, I was like, great. I like didn't want to be here anyway. I didn't feel like this was a proper learning experience, and I didn't feel welcome at the company. So as much as it kind of sucked that I was losing my job, it felt great that like at least I was gonna get supported by unemployment, and that, you know, I'm not gonna be so stressed about this job anymore. And I've learned that as much as like we need money in a job to like sustain a living, like the stress and like, yeah, the stress and the anxiety and the negative feelings that you feel from a job that you don't feel comfortable working at is not worth the money that you're making. Like, you are working yourself to the bone for pennies. I was working myself to the bone for pennies, and it just wasn't worth it for me anymore. I have gray hairs to prove it. I have them. I literally, you can't see it right now, but I have salt and pepper hair at this point. And yeah, that's why I've been gone for this past year. There's like a lot of other stuff that has happened, but those are kind of like the main things. Like, as soon as I thought things were kind of taking a turn, like around February, February was like a really good month for me. I was going out, I was seeing friends. There was a point where I like started kind of dating and like kind of getting back out there. And then, you know, that didn't work out. But like I felt like there was a turn coming, like good energy was coming. I felt just more like myself. And then March hit, and then COVID was like, you thought you were gonna turn your life around. And then ever since then, I just felt like, you know, my mom has been very paranoid, and it makes me paranoid. And I'm just like, I'm a huge extrovert. Like, I love seeing people, and I love being with friends, and I love being out in social situations. And of course, I like to kind of stay at home and recharge at some point, but I love going out, and I love having adventures, and I love just experiencing life to the fullest. And when I wasn't able to do that anymore, like, I was like, wow, what else do I have, really? So I got really depressed, and I was really anxious. My anxiety was off the charts, and I couldn't, there was a point in time where I just couldn't function, and I couldn't get out of bed. I felt like the world was ending, and you know, the world is kind of ending, but now I kind of have a better head on my shoulders, and I feel just a little bit more better in a mental health. I'm in a better place mentally. I'm in a better headspace, and I'm ready to kind of channel my creativity again into YouTube and photography, and to just like share what I have to offer, because I feel like I just haven't had the chance to do that within the past year. And I'm just, you know, we're in quarantine, like we can't really go anywhere. Like, why not get back into YouTube? I have all this time. I'm always home. So thanks for like hearing me out and listening to me, you know, for those like 100 people that like subscribe to me. I don't know if anyone cares. I just felt like I really needed to post this video to kind of catch you guys up and like move on to this next chapter in my life, you know? Yeah. I mean, this is a test run, so I don't know if I'm gonna actually post this, but thanks for watching.